Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Jeannie, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci.
Hi, I'm Eric Chalk, and I will be guesting in as Ide Minato.
Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
Sueno shoulders the quiver and walks up to Gen. All right, well, I'm ready when you are. I got plenty of arrows here. You should be able to fire off to your heart's content.
All right. Gen pats the shoulder of the horse that she has been given. She's been given a very seasoned horse who really knows what he's about. Her horse's name is Najaya, which means survivor. Because this particular horse has been across the desert multiple times before. But right now, Gen is like, thanks. I will try to hit those targets over there. There's a couple of kind of bales of hay that have been put out for the horses, but the horses are no longer there. It's like, I'll try and hit those from horseback. It's been a long time since I've done this.
Well, longer for me. I never got to do this type of training.
You're a better shot than me, so I know, though. All right.
It's all in the eye.
Yes. She, again, kind of pauses for a moment, remembering that, and tries to slowly figure out how to ride the horse with her knees and pull her bow and shoot at the hay bale like she remembered from school. There was a time I was studying for the Topaz Championship. She calls to Sueno while she is practicing. That's the only reason they had us do this at the school for courtiers.
Oh, is that what they're teaching you at Shizuka Toshi? How to ride horses and shoot bows? I thought it was how to speak and pour tea.
It was a lot more speaking and pouring tea. It's only if you were pulled out to attempt to test for the Topaz Championship that you got the exclusive training, but I did not quite succeed well enough at this particular test, or the wrestling. The wrestling did not work out very well.
Oh, so the only downside is you had to go back to one of the most prestigious schools within the empire. You just didn't get the test at the most prestigious Gimpuku. I'm sorry, you just had to do the second best in the empire.
Harsh.
She kind of, yeah, giving you a little bit of an eye roll as she does.
All right. Well, I hope I shall do better at this test this time. And again, attempts to pull off a shot. So I'm just going
All right.
to.
Yeah, horse is going easy. You're just making a normal bow attack here. Go ahead and make me a check at TN2.
All right. So is this fitness or is this
This would be ranged. We're going to start with ranged. Yeah, we're going to start with ranged.
All right, and we're moving, so I guess I can start with water. It seems like a
There you go.
reasonable way to start it. Give me a sec.
You know what? Actually, that's a good point. You are moving. It's unfamiliar. It's something you haven't done in a while. I'm going to give you a situational +1 TN, so it's TN3.
All right, well, we'll see how we do.
But you are just shooting a hay bale. You're not shooting like an actual target, right?
Yes.
So I'm also going to give that a -1 situational, just because, normally the TN2 is against the target that is like actively trying not to get hit, and you're not like trying to hit a bullseye per se. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and just call it a wash on the situational TNs and call it a TN2 range attack.
Well, I will see how I do with my archery water roll from horseback. Okay, I got 2 successes, 2 strifes, and 2 opportunities. So I will use one of those opportunities to lower my strife by 2. Another opportunity
All right.
to remove to negate one of the strife, and I'll just keep 1 strife. So that's kind of a net -1 strife. It's not much, but trying to get my bearings here.
Trying to keep your cool with it. All right. She's like, so Sueno comes back over and hands you a couple more arrows, as when you're doing Gabasambe, you're often carrying your extra arrows in the same hand as your bow, and you pull one out and fire and keep moving. Yeah, that looked fairly easy, but the horse wasn't really moving that much. I think it might be time for you to, it might be time to really put your heels into the horse's flanks here and really get it moving.
I will attempt it. I'll take one more shot. Well, I didn't want to necessarily negate all the strife I've got. I have 3 successes on that roll and 1 strife. So
not bad. You come back around and Sueno's like, yeah, no, you got another shot there, but I mean, you got to do it at speed like the unicorn do. And with that, she slaps the ass of your horse right into kind of right near its flank, and it bolts. So now I need you to regain control of your horse here while getting ready to take a shot. So let's go ahead and make a maneuver check with the horse, which is either survival or fitness.
Okay.
And that is TN2, but TN3 because the horse got spooked. Sorry. TN2.
Right. On a TN2 fitness water roll, because I'm still in water, because I'm definitely still moving, and also trying to be good to the horse. So hopefully this is a good way to do it. I have rolled 1 opportunity with strife and 2 clean successes. I will use the opportunity with strife to negate 2 strife.
Got it. All right. So that's going to allow you to move 2 range bands normally, but on horseback, you get to add the horse's water ring as bonus successes, which I believe is going to get you an additional 3.
Let's see. Yes, water ring is 3.
Yeah. Got it. So that is a total of 5 successes, which is going to get you 3 range bands. So yeah, you really get moving from one end of kind of the camp, or where they set up the hay bales for some of the horses, to the other side, and now you've got a clean shot at one of the other targets you haven't shot at yet before. So let's go ahead and have you try to shoot at the far target now that you're really moving. Like I said, the horse kind of got startled and hit, but god dang, this horse is a survivor. It has been through quite a bit. And you kind of lean into the run, and instead of just trying to stop them, and yeah, you wind up just kind of going for it, and the horse realizes that, hey, no, everything's calm and cool. This rider knows what they're doing. All right, let's just go for it. Let's just put on the speed.
All right, is this archery or fitness?
This would also be archery again. Let's do one last archery shot.
For that one last archery shot, I got 2 successes, 2 strife, 2 opportunities. I used 1 opportunity to negate 1 of the strife, and 1 opportunity to negate 2 strife off the backlog. So that's a down total of 2 strife from the beginning of the scene. Yeah, all told, put together. And I think I hit.
All right. So with that, you make dead contact with the dead center contact with the hay bale that you were going for, and Sueno comes running up behind you and with a big smile on her face and says, "I'm pretty impressed. I think even your senseis would be proud of you on that one. I'm actually surprised you were able to keep with the horse like that. I've seen you mostly just ride Heart of Oak in the past, and well, he just kind of lumbers from one place to the next at his own pace for the most part."
Well, next time I'll slap your horse, and then we'll see how you do.
Well, I never had as much training riding, so just be a little more gentle with the poor thing. I'm not nearly as comfortable up there as you are. As she kind of realizes, that you are also kind of still kind of half panting and maybe flushed with excitement and adrenaline.
All right.
And it is. Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Then we'll trot back towards the where the rest of the camp is after we collect our arrows.
Yeah, you guys are out collecting the arrows from the hay bales. When all of a sudden you see a flash of movement out past where most of the other horses have been, kind of in what had been like the backfield of your view when you were going through your own little paces on your own makeshift Yamasabe course here. And there is a rider on horseback who has taken aim with a bow, and it's one of the shorter kind of recurved bows that the unicorn out here in the Burning Sands tend to favor. And they let loose with a shot, and it's into the dirt. And the next thing you know is you didn't see it before, but the shape of a hare and giving out its kind of one and only sound as it dies, kind of rolling around in the desert sand there, and you see Tomo, the one who had been giving assistance to Minato, Shinjo Tomo, just kind of dismount and pluck up this one of the largest rabbits you've ever seen, with ears almost as long as your entire forearm, and kind of she lets out a bit of a whoop and picks up her prey and gets back up into the saddle and makes her way over towards the two of you and says, "Well, if you would like to join me, I've got plenty to eat tonight."
Yes, she just picked it up, just like that. Where's the other part?
Yeah, it's just she's grabbed it by the ears and is just kind of lifting it up on high. It's the arrow's still in it. It's not like it's gushing blood, but there's still blood along the side where she had hit it right in the chest cavity, right in the ribs, and whatnot. But yeah.
So Gen has been okay with eating meat that she can pretend is rabbit, but she's not quite so far gone that she can necessarily prepare it. That's what Sueno helps with that stuff. That was an excellent shot, Shinjo-san.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I was watching you take some shots earlier, and I thought, maybe I'll go out and try my hand at it again. I haven't been out hunting in such a long time. My father used to take me.
It is a very different thing between shooting a hay bale and shooting something that is running away. I merely thought I would try and practice, but thank you for offering the hospitality of your fire. But I think that uh, I will keep writing for a little while longer.
Well, suit yourself. It was definitely good to get out and away from all the papers and brushwork that I've been doing, and actually get back to something I enjoyed, something about to do outdoors, back in the saddle. It's makes one feel feel like a unicorn again instead of just a glorified clerk.
A glorified clerk. You assist uh, Ide Minato, do you not?
I have been assigned to him as someone to make sure that things are going smoothly in whatever plans he comes up with. He's been given some special dispensation by Ide Liu.
Special dispensation? He does not do this all the time?
More often than not, he is dealing in trade goods and acquiring new uh, treaties and acquisitions. His lord back home drives him quite hard.
Oh, so are you his social secretary?
Oh, it's rather new to that. I was only really assigned to him when he received the assignment to. She looks now a bit more flustered now that she realizes that she's kind of talking about some of the inner politics at work within the unicorn, and the fact that Minato's been assigned to be your minders, and that she's kind of been assigned to him to make sure that he has an additional set of hands to make sure that goes smoothly. But yeah, she's a little embarrassed by the whole thing. I'm not sure if you want to try and suss it out of her. You want to reassure her. If you want to press for more, I'm not sure. What are you thinking?
Actually, Gen is very much interested in what the overall social situation is, like the social geography of the unicorn encampment, because she needs to know how much leeway they're going to have, or who they should piss off, or she's trying to determine the social boundaries, because being stuck, left in the desert because somebody got mad at them is not good. And she doesn't know these people. So she's really trying to use these conversations with Minato and here and with other people to like generally figure out, okay, are there any different factions in this group? How do they feel about us? How do they feel about returning to Rokugan? How much has the information about the imminent invasion been spread through the caravan? What do people know? Yeah, I mean, she's just trying to kind of, like I said, get the lay of the land in the social sense, so that if things happen, she'll know who to talk to or what to make of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that sounds like it is going to be a courtesy check of some sort, and it could be an
Okay.
error. Kind of the way that I'm feeling it, that you're kind of wanting to suss these things out uh, about them. But
I
what
think
do you
that
think?
courtesy error
Is
is
that about
great because
right?
she doesn't necessarily want everybody to think she's sussing them out either. So, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let me go ahead and pull up her stats to give you a TN. All right, so I have a TN. Do you wish to know it or blind
I
for
will
a void
blind
point?
for a void point. All right.
There you go. So how did your courtesy air check go?
I got 3 successes and 1 opportunity. And then I was also going to use my doji technique to add another 4 opportunities.
There you go. 4 opportunities added is real good.
All right. I'd like to spend one of those opportunities to make my questioning more subtle so that it's not too obvious I'm trying to pump her for information about the camp. I'd like to spend 2 of those opportunities to learn or establish an advantage for Tomo. I think I will try and establish that she has keen vision because it seems to make sense. She's good at finding errors in Monato's files, and she's also good at shooting jackrabbits in the desert at dusk. So that sounds like a keen vision thing. And then I'd
Absolutely. I
like to
like
use
it.
the 2 remaining to find out, even if I don't necessarily find out whether they're going to leave me, fully what the social situation is, to see if there's any tangential information that I can learn that might be useful or helpful to us in the course of this adventure.
Got it. And you're
Yes,
spending 2 on that one? Okay, so
total of 5.
the TN unfortunately was 4. So you have a shortfall of 1. So you're not going to get to know the full social layout of the encampment for the unicorn here from Tomo. She's not really one to speak about her superiors and orders and kind of that with per se. She's a little bit more careful with her tongue than that. But for 2 successes, I will say that you do get some information out of her, and it's kind of some of the easy, gossip around the encampment. That's easy to tell. People that are a little more grumpy and disgruntled to have left Alzawira than those who are happy to be returning to Rokugan. So she lets you know that Idelu, Shinjo Alasasia, Otaku Kazuki, Ayuchi Rikisa have a bit. They're all a bit grumpy that you guys have had to ditch what was a ongoing operation and return home. Not quite empty-handed. You do have some very vital information to be bringing back and whatnot, but for the most part, they feel that their overall original mission has been scrubbed, and they're not too pleased about that. Of course. So yeah, you're able to pick up that level of gossip from Tomo as you guys, as you, Sueno, and her make your way back to the encampment, and she eventually wanders off to go and skin and devour her rabbit. She's very excited for that.
Cool.
All right. Anything else?
Not for us. We might keep practicing on our own, but that's pretty good.
There you go. All right. In that case, we will move over to Ricci, who is finally starting to extricate himself from telling tales around a campfire and regaling the unicorn with the battle of what was it, Fallen Main?
Yes, the Battle of Fallen Main.
So yeah, you're finally able to start to wind that down and kind of have some time back to yourself here.
Yeah, so Ricci will take the time to get stuff sorted out, check up on Hayate, make sure he's doing well, because he may have been left to his own devices with these unicorn. And as he's leaving, Ricci will seek out Ide Minato.
Conveniently, Minato seems to be on the periphery of events, easy to track down.
Perfect. So Ricci will approach Minato and just say, Ide-san, I don't believe we've had a full discussion since we've left Alzarira.
I apologize for that. My duties have kept me quite busy as we were trying to extricate ourselves from the city.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's. I just wanted to say, thank you for all the effort that you've put in to help us get back to home.
Don't mention him. What kind of samurai would I be if I left one of my own to suffer in these strange lands?
No, of course. It's a show of honor that you have done as much for us. Especially because we're strangers to you and your clan. It is it is nice to see that we can still come together when threats arise.
I agree. In this regard, we are of like mind. And I hope I'm not being too forward, but I wish to apologize for what Anjing said to you earlier. I did not entirely understand or hear all of the conversation you had, but I believe the way that she reacted towards you was not fitting of someone of her station.
Do not worry about that whatsoever. It was a slight misunderstanding, but we've discussed it over dinner and a fire, which from one soldier to another, there is no better time to lay out grievances and to reconcile as warriors.
I couldn't put it better myself, because in this moment, that is what we all are. We are soldiers behind enemy lines.
Very much so.
And disharmony in camp can be just as destructive as the enemy's charge.
That I could not agree more with. That being said, I'm not entirely familiar with what you are doing with the caravan and what you did in Alzura. Could you enlighten me on that?
I'm doing in camp what I did back when I was in the city. Everything I can to make sure our mission is as successful as possible.
And if you don't mind my asking what the mission was, if you will.
Originally, our objective was trade, as is common with most caravans. You know, not many people within our country leave its borders, so not only do we bring interesting baubles and exotic goods back home, but we also are the eyes and ears for the Emperor.
And that is completely understandable and it makes perfect sense. I know that the Unicorn are one of very few clans that have that express permission to trade outside of the Empire. So it just seems I guess it seems a little unusual to see just a casual nature about trade.
Each land has its own customs and ways that you should convey yourself when you're there. I think you agree, even back at home, a crab should not act like a crab in Crane lands. Such things will lead to many misunderstandings.
Yeah, that's an understatement to be sure.
So while we're out here in foreign lands, it's sometimes not only recommended but appropriate for us to adopt foreign customs and foreign ways.
Yes, I can see that because it is a different style of well to an extent of warfare. You have your battles to fight in very much different ways than I do or even Doji-san.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Because I don't think your being here is a mere fluke or act of happenstance. I think it is fate. Here, when our country is put in peril, when we get this vital information about this upcoming war, who do we find to help us in our hour of need? A doji, someone who is here to remind us exactly what our culture is and what our people are while we are so far from them. And a member of the Lion, someone who I'm sure currently is just filling their head full of tactical information to share with your lords when you return back to your lands to help fortify and provide defense for Rokugan.
At present, there is very little tactical information I can gather from a traveling caravan. There are caravans aplenty in Rokugan, and most of them act the same way, and there are different types of defensive positionings and care that must be taken that's much more different out here in the Burning Sands than there would be back in the wetlands of home. So it's not much. Obviously, it goes without saying that if someone were to ask me questions, I would not hold back. I would not omit. Uh, but I
Oh, I
have
think
no.
you made that very clear earlier tonight with your conversation with Utaku-san.
I'm not one for deception. I've never been good at it. Uh, but with that, I am also. I'm not willing to offer that information freely. Again, you have done me and Doji and Kitsune well enough to bring us home. I have no intention of betraying that level of trust.
I appreciate your discretion, but I think you should share as much with your elders as possible. For even if some small fact seems insignificant to you, it may not to others. I mean, you say that there's not much to be seen in this caravan, but look around you as he sort of gestures out to the horizon and the sort of rough, hard scrabble, bad land and sands around you. Like you said it yourself, these are not people from wetlands like ours. Their horses, their armaments, the way they have to be travel, very different from the way that we conduct ourselves. And to the right person, they can find a way to exploit that for their benefit. Sorry, I misspoke. You can Doji-san will, I'm sure, tell you of my own deficiencies with the language sometimes. I do not mean to say exploit as if you would do something underhanded, but what I meant to say is use this information to make the most rational and wise tactical decision for your forces.
Oh, of course. I would use the knowledge appropriately. I will be reporting upon the forces here within the sands themselves. But as far as any sort of tactical information against the unicorn itself, that is where I will be more hesitant to say something.
I appreciate that.
I've learned a lot out here in the sands over these past few months. Very ready to see home again. When was the last time that you were back in Rokugan?
It's been many months, at least 3 seasons.
Uh, I do not know how you do it. I may have gone a little accustomed to the luxuries that Rokugan offered. Uh, it is not to say that I am homesick, but I am very much ready to return.
I find that the absence of a thing makes it seem that much more sweet and fulfilling when you finally return to it.
That I believe that is wisdom right there. But it does bring up a one final question I have for you, if you would be so kind to indulge me.
Ask away.
Myself and Doji-san and Kitsune-san were discussing this, and I find that this is one of the best ways to find the true intentions and the true purpose of one's soul. When we return back to Rokugan, what food are you going to have first?
Ooh, that is a good question.
If it helps out your thoughts on this, I myself am looking forward to a nice, rich tuna from the sea.
It may seem simple and maybe a little unrefined to the two of you, but I look forward to having a hoke. It is not a dish that you would often find in the fine halls and castles that you may be accustomed to. But have you ever had a hoke, an entire grilled mackerel? That with a bottle of sake. That's home to me.
I have had it before. There are several way stations in the Lion territory that offer it up on occasion, and I've been curious enough for it. Not quite to my tasting, but I can see why it would remind you of home.
Yeah, the bones can be tricky.
They, yeah.
But there's a particular place in my hometown that serves it with a little bit of barley alongside. It's something I grew up eating, and it will always remind me of home.
Then that is an excellent reason for that to be the first dish back. And with that, I will not take up any more of your time. Thank you again, Ide-san, for this lovely conversation.
Anytime. Actually, I was wondering, would you and Doji Gen be interested in going for a hunt tomorrow morning?
I myself cannot speak for Dojigen, but I would love to.
I know she is interested in trying out her new bow and has mentioned the desert hares that you have been eating.
Oh, I had not gotten a chance to speak with her about that. That I believe would be a fantastic opportunity. I will mention it to her, and I believe we'll be accepting your offer.
Excellent. I wish you a good evening, and I'll see you in the morning.
And a good evening to you as well. And I'll head on over to where Gin is at. Gin-san, I have a proposal from Ide-san.
Again, at this point, has dismounted and is brushing her horse like a person who sort of actually knows how to brush a horse because she's had one. What sort of proposal?
He has requested that we join him for a hunt tomorrow. Apparently, you have been curious about the desert hares in the area?
Curious, maybe not, but we were discussing the number of fine dining options here in the desert and the large number of varieties of rabbit that we seem to be eating. Some with 2 legs, some potentially with 4, some I do not want to know how many legs they have. Yes. Anyway, rabbit. Of course, I need to practice with my bow in case we run into bandits. Though I thought we would be further out before we stopped. And she gives a worried glance back the way they came.
I was thinking the same, but they know the terrain better than I, so I'm going to have to defer to their expertise in this one, unfortunately.
Fair enough. I suppose that a few of us on horseback could travel faster than the whole caravan. So even if they did start rolling in the morning, we could catch up with them after a few hours of hunting.
That's true. So yeah, I don't see any reason why not to accept Ide's proposal. I think it would be great fun, and for one, it gets us away from a little bit more of the stuffy, straightforward march of a caravan.
It is too bad Hayate can't come. Maybe we should try to teach him how to ride as we journey. But
That may not be a bad idea for tomorrow.
all right, well we can ask. I'm almost finished brushing down Najaya here, So yeah, we can turn in and do that early in the morning, perhaps before the caravan is underway, so it would not be so far to catch up with them.
Yeah, after our morning preparations, let's go hunting.
Sueno then sets a hand kind of at the nape of Gen's neck and leans in to whisper into her ear. Well, if you look now, I don't think we're going to have any trouble finding someone to teach Hayate how to ride. And she kind of motions, or kind of turns her head a bit to where Hayate is at. And he and Shinjo Tomo seem to be rather excitedly and closely working over skinning the rabbit and preparing it, butchering it, and both are seem to be very relaxed and having the time of their lives right now, discussing something, whether it's the finer points of hunting or preparing the rabbit or some other thing. The two of them seem to be hitting it off quite well.
At that, Gen leans back and says, "No, I think some suggestions that they spend time together would be most well appreciated."
I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Ricci. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter at Churcher Games or on Twitch, also as Churcher Games. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
Hi there, I'm Eric Schock, and I will be guesting as Ide Minato.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.